Hey, it's me, Raika. Today we're going to have a look at the brand new Hypogean hero, Lavatune Abyssal Rocker. Now, this hero wears cloth-based gear, is part of the support class, and this hero's primary role is to provide a significant amount of buffs through his abilities and skills over here. So let's have a look at his ultimate skill, Inferno Echo. Lavatune summons a stage and releases a far-reaching shockwave, dealing damage to enemies and stunning them. So he'll stun them for 2 seconds. Allied heroes within the stage deal more damage with their ultimate skill. So this will be increased by 60% for 7 seconds for the duration of the ultimate ability. While the stage exists, using the skill again will expand the stage effective range to the entire allied half of the battlefield. The level 2 increases the damage dealt by this ability, and the level 3, when an allied hero within the stage uses their ultimate skill, they recover a certain amount of energy. So they will recover 100 energy points each time they use their ultimate when Lavatune uses his ultimate ability. So let's look at his next ability, Frenzy Impromptu. Lavatune plays music of 3 different genres in turn. Power Metal increases the attack rating of allies. So as we can see, it increases by 45% of Lavatune's initial attack rating for 8 seconds. Death Metal deals damage to enemies and dispels their buffs. And Torrent Metal restores allies' energy. So he'll restore 100 energy points for the allied hero with the lowest current energy. And this ability over here is his normal attack that he'll use consistently throughout the entire duration of battle. The level 2, if Lavatune himself is on stage. Power Metal also applies to all allied heroes on stage. Level 3, if Lavatune himself is on stage, Death Metal also applies to one other enemy. And the level 4, or the energy recovery, if Lavatune himself is on stage, Torrent Metal also applies to all allied heroes on stage. So what does it mean on stage? On stage is when he uses his ultimate ability and a red light appears on the allied half of the battlefield. So if your allies are within that particular region, your allies will gain all the benefits from his other abilities. His next ability over here, Virtuoso's Rage. The duration of any control effect received by Lavatune is reduced by 80%. And at the end of the control effect, he counteracts the enemy. So what he'll do is he'll deal damage to them when he is being controlled by the enemy hero. His next ability, or level 2 upgrade, if Lavatune himself is on stage, the counter attack is enhanced. Level 3, this attack is further enhanced, so he'll deal more damage to the enemy hero. And the 30 engravings, or level 4 upgrade, when a certain period after the counter attack, Lavatune is immune to control effects. So this will only affect him after 6 seconds after the control effect has been inflicted on him. Alright, so let's have a look at his last and final ability, Opening Act. For a certain period of time after the battle starts, Lavatune performs the opening act. So these are 2 little speakers that will appear on the edges of the battlefield, during which all allied heroes have their haste increased by 8 points up to 40 points. After the opening act ends, the haste bonus is reduced by 1 point every 1 second. So as we can see here, 40 points of haste is an extremely beneficial buff to your allied heroes. The level 2, during the opening act, whenever an allied hero uses their ultimate skill, Lavatune recovers 100 points of energy. Level 3, while the stage exists, this means his ultimate, haste bonus reduction is slowed down to 0.5 points for every 1 second, and the 60 engravings, where each time an ultimate skill is used, the haste boost and max haste are increased to 16 and 80 points respectively. So this is a massive amount of haste that he can provide for your allied heroes. So let's have a look at his signature item, Electrifying Thrall. Now when you unlock this signature item, energy restored by Torrent Metal, that is his normal attack, is increased to 130 points. The level 10 upgrade, the portion of attack rating enhanced by Power Metal is increased to 60%. The level 20 unlock, enemies affected by Death Metal have their buff permanently reduced by 7 points up to 5 stacks. And the level 30 signature item unlock. Sound waves from ultimate skill Inferno Echo deal torrent metal effects to allies and death metal effects to enemies as well. So this is the increase or regeneration of energy for your allies and the damage inflicted on the enemies. So essentially he can use his normal attack, which can restore energy to your allies, and his ultimate, which lasts for a couple of seconds, will additionally restore energy to your allies as well. So let's have a look at his furniture. So when you unlock Fanatic Showman, allied heroes within the stage that deal damage other than with their normal attacks and ultimate skills receive damage buffs equal to 50% of the damage buff from their ultimate skills. The level 9 out of 9 when performing the opening act. So this is the two speakers that appear on the side of the screen. Lavatune summons a stage and the damage buff for the ultimate skill provided by the stage is increased by 100%. So this is from 60 all the way to 100% of your allies' damage. So this is a massive amount of increase to your allied heroes. So let's have a look at how he does in battle. So let's start off with this trading dummy over here. So as we can see, he starts off the battle with 2 speakers on the field. Now this will continue to do damage to the enemy heroes, as we can see over here. And we can see the little buff around one of my allied heroes. This is recovering his energy over here, as we can see. And this will move between allied heroes from time to time. There we go. You can see the different effects that he's using, the different death metal, torrent metal that he's applying to his allies and himself and the enemies as well. So let's have a look at his ultimate. So when he uses his ultimate, he creates a stage. So this, we can see how the stage looks like. So this will affect your allies in their half. However, this is extremely powerful, and the more energy he has or recovers, the bigger the stage will be, and slowly it might even cover the enemy half as well. There we go. As we can see, the torrent over here, or the torrent metal, is being applied to all allied heroes, being himself and his 2 front guardsmen over here. Alright, so let's have a look at how he does at a much higher level deficit. Now, he does not do a lot of damage. However, he's extremely effective at generating energy for your allies. So as we can see over here, once again, we have the 2 speakers, top and bottom. Then we have the stage, which is immediately open at the beginning of battle, increasing your allies' damage as well. Now we can see as well, the stage has increased even further to your allied half. We can see how big this encompasses. So this only affects your allies if they remain in that particular half. However, if they move into the enemy half, they will no longer gain the particular effect of that 60% damage increase from Lavatune himself. Great stuff. So what would be the minimum investment that I would recommend into this hero? Now, I would highly recommend getting his 30 signature item. The reason for this is this allows him to double stack his torrent metal effect on your allies. This is the energy recovery that he can use with his normal attack and will be consistently used whenever he uses his ultimate ability. Now, the next one I would highly recommend is getting his 9 out of 9 furniture. The reason for this, if you have an extremely heavy burst based team, you can effectively double the damage of all your allies within the first couple seconds of battle. This is extremely potent when battle durations are short, especially with the brand new Nightmare and Cursed Realm bosses, which require that you defeat them within an extremely short period of time. Now, the next thing that I would recommend is getting his 30 engravings. The reason for this is this allows him to become immune to control effects. This is extremely effective, allowing him to use his abilities more often, recover more energy, and provide his various buffs to your allies as well more consistently. Now, I do not recommend getting his 60 engravings, as this is not necessary for him, as the buffs provided with his 8 points or 40 points of haste is extremely effective and will be beneficial irrespective of whether you get 40 or you get the 80 points as well.